How's it going, everyone? Got quite a lot to talk about in this video. A big PlayStation 5 game is, in fact, still in development. It is not canceled, but it is one of those titles that, while I am cautiously excited for it, it's hard to be optimistic about it, and if we're ever going to see the game, I feel like it's been in development for a while. It's certainly no Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's certainly no, let's say, Duke Nukem Forever from back in the day, but getting a little bit skeptical about the production of the game, so we'll talk about that. On top of that, a bit of an update on an upcoming PlayStation Plus Day 1 title, as Tales of Kenzera Zhao has gotten its launch trailer, and I don't know, maybe this is much ado about nothing. I don't really like how they handled the launch trailer, but we'll talk about that. And also, Dragon's Dogma 2 will be getting a huge update later this month, so we'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, Jeff Keighley noted new images from The Wolf Among Us now in production at Telltale Games. So we got new images of the game noting now in production. Now, The Wolf Among Us 2 has been a game that's been announced for a little while, and people have been wanting it for a long time. Wolf Among Us 1 came out back in 2013. Yes, it has been 11 years since Wolf Among Us 1, and Wolf Among Us 2 takes place 6 months after the events of Wolf Among Us 1. Telltale was scheduled to release this game, I believe, in 2023, and now it has been perpetually delayed. It is tentatively scheduled for 2024, but man, I am kind of skeptical it hits that date. Now, it's still April, it's still fairly early, and I could see this being a game that gets, more content announced, more gameplay revealed, and then it comes out very quickly thereafter. I believe the game was initially revealed back in 2018, and then they officially announced it in 2019. There were rumblings in 2018, but the official announcement came all the way back in 2019, and we've gotten updates here and there, but it's one that I'm certainly skeptical if it'll ever see the light of day. I think it will. Again, I don't think this is in the territory of Beyond Good and Evil 2 or anything like that. Like, Beyond Good and Evil 2, I don't know if we're ever gonna see that. Or Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, like, that's another game where I'm just like, bro, are we ever gonna get this game? But Wolf Among Us 2 has been another game that I know that there has been a lot of tumultuous times at Telltale, so, I can't fault them too much. It's just from the standpoint of getting excited about the game, it's a little bit difficult to do at this stage of the game. But knowing that the game is in production at least alleviates some worry, but it is one of those cases where I am, generally speaking, more pessimistic than most. I just expect bad things to happen, so when good things happen, I am very happy. That's how I choose to live my life. Maybe it's not the healthiest way to go about life, and I feel like it does bring on a lot of anxiety about various things, especially outside of video games, when you're just cautiously pessimistic about getting effed over. That can breed a little bit of anxiety. There's a healthy balance for sure to keep your expectations in check while also not being chronically pessimistic like I am, and that is something I certainly have to work on. But in the case of Wolf Among Us 2, I want to remain cautiously optimistic about the game, but at the same time, again, it's been a long development time, but I can say this, Wolf Among Us 1 is absolutely awesome. The game goes on sale on the PlayStation Store all the time. I get it that some of you guys are just not into the interactive, story-based games, the narrative-driven games that Telltale has put out, but man, I don't think all of Telltale games are fantastic. Like, I didn't think Batman, the Telltale series, was amazing. I thought it was okay, don't get me wrong, but, they have dropped a lot of quality titles. Tales from Borderlands I thought was great, and obviously when it comes to their best games, I've always said 1A, 1B when it comes to Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead Season 1. Those games are both fantastic, and to see them finally do Wolf Among Us 2 took 11 damn years if it does come out this year, but, better late than never, and that's just wild to think about, because I swear, it doesn't feel that long ago that Wolf Among Us 1 came out, but you do have to remember with Wolf Among Us 1, they did do the episodic release structure where the 5 episodes came out over time. So episode 1 kicked off in October of 2013, and it wrapped up by July of 2014. So you had like an 8-month release stretch there, 9-month release stretch as far as, the releases between the first and last episodes, but yeah, there you go with that. And if you've yet to play Wolf Among Us 1 and you're okay with narrative-based games, certainly do go check that out. Moving on from that, I do want to note, and this game isn't getting a ton of buzz, but it will be a PlayStation Plus extra Day 1 title. Tales of Kenzera Zhao has gotten its official launch trailer. Now, I think this game looks great. I am not a big fan of how they did the launch trailer. I just don't like using content creators and their reactions in a launch trailer to promote the game. Maybe that's me being nitpicky, but I just feel like, yo, if you want to promote the game, promote the video game. I feel like when you look at give reactions to content creators and things like that, it just makes it come across way too forced. That is my personal opinion. Maybe they do their case studies and they have seen that this is a very effective way to promote video games. I don't know. And as I'm looking at this trailer on YouTube, on EA's official website, the top comment is, if there are YouTubers in the trailer, it means that the game doesn't have much to offer. Expect empty BS marketing. Now that I don't think is necessarily true, but yeah, it is the top comment. The video only has 740 views. It was uploaded an hour ago, so obviously it's not getting a ton of buzz, but it is a game I think looks very good. When it comes to promoting a game, I feel strongly about certain things, especially when it comes to games that I think look slick, look good. I felt like they butchered the reveal of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and I thought that game ultimately turned out awesome. And in that case, I thought they just picked the wrong soundtrack for the debut trailer. But little things like that go a long way, and I remember when Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown came out, all people talked about was the music choice for the debut trailer. So, you know, it is what it is, and that game, again, not my favorite game of 2024, but I thought it was a damn good game, and, you know, I don't know how that game did commercially, but nonetheless, I do think promoting a game does matter, but, you know, with a game like this, it is going to be a smaller scale release. At least they are getting some upfront money from Sony, from PlayStation Plus, and this is an EA Originals title. It's a part of the EA Originals label, which also put out Wild Hearts, as well as Immortals of Aveum. Yeah, they haven't had the greatest track record in terms of delivering games that have been commercial successes. You can talk about quality as far as those games, but commercial successes, both of those games didn't do exceedingly well. With Tales of Kinzarazao, it's obviously a smaller scale game, so we'll see how it does. Wield the dance of the shaman, reclaim your father's spirit, brave the beautiful and treacherous land of Kinzara with the god of death in Tales of Kinzarazao, a Metroidvania-style adventure crafted by Surgeon Studios. Again, I think the game looks incredibly slick in presentation. Gameplay looks super flashy as well. Excited to see how it turns out. There is a demo available on Steam. The game itself to buy will be $19.99 with a launch discount, 10% off for $17.99, so don't expect a super lengthy game, but I do think that'll be a worthwhile game to check out, especially if you're a Plus Extra subscriber. Lastly, I do want to note planned updates for Dragon's Dogma 2. The official Dragon's Dogma 2 Twitter account put out to all Dragon's Dogma 2 players, we have an update planned this month with the following adjustments and fixes. We will release them on each platform as soon as they are ready. Thank you for your patience and support. Reducing the infection frequency of Dragon's Plague and adjusting the signs of pawns infected with Dragon's Plague to be more noticeable. Adding the option to zoom in on the faces of the arisen and pawns in the status screen, shops, etc. Fixing some issues and implementing adjustments related to the minimap, adjustments to pawns' behavior and dialogue. Fixing issues where sometimes escort quests are considered failed when accessing character edit or other specific situations. Fixing issues where players could be jailed when fighting monsters in town. Fixing some crashes and freezes in specific circumstances. Miscellaneous bug fixes as well. Dragon's Dogma 2 has been one of the more divisive games of the year. I've heard people just drop the game pretty early on, and then I've also heard people call it their game of the year so far. So it's a game that some people are really gonna like, and it's a game that other people are just not gonna get into as much. But you know, a worthwhile open world action RPG to at least give a chance to, and then you can decide on whether or not it'll be your cup of tea. Maybe $70 wouldn't be the best to spend just on seeing if you like a game, but wait for it to go on sale. Capcom games, generally speaking, get discounted at a pretty regular rate. Like, by the fall, I could easily see this game being down to $35 to $40 during, like, Black Friday. But that'll do it for me. Again, Wolf Among Us 2 is still alive, not canceled yet. I know it's had the tumultuous development cycle, and I am a little bit skeptical on how the game's gonna turn out. I think it looks great. Every time we've seen images, trailers, all that good stuff, it has looked excellent. I just want to see it actually come to fruition. Tales of Kinzarazao gets its official launch trailer. Not a fan of how they handled the trailer, but what can you do? I think the game will end up being pretty good, and a Day 1 Plus Extra title, and Dragon's Dogma 2 will be getting an update later this month. A lot of fixes coming your way with that. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.